Everyone is obsessed with finding the perfect LinkedIn tool, the magical software that if you use will fill your calendar with qualified leads. And I get it. I used to think the same way. In fact, I've probably tested more tools than anyone in the last 12 months, but here's something they just don't tell you. 90% of these LinkedIn tools don't really help you. They either waste your money, they waste your budget, they're ineffective, or they actually risk your account getting banned. And I know this because I've tested them all. After managing 100 plus client LinkedIn accounts, I've made the perfect tech stack which is both cheap, reliable, and actually increases efficiency. And so in this video, I'm going to show you the LinkedIn tech stack that I use to book my clients 15 to 30 calls per month through LinkedIn. Before I show you the exact tools we use, I need you to understand something critical. The reason why most people fail with LinkedIn tools is not because they're using the wrong ones, but mainly because they're using them in the wrong order. Now let me show you what I mean. In this image over here, this is Paolo, his profile. We booked in 107 calls in the last 60 days. That's my co-founder. We've done this again. We booked in 124 calls in 60 days, and we've also booked in 70 to 80 calls per month using this exact LinkedIn tech stack. So here's what's interesting. The very first tool I'm going to show you isn't actually even used on LinkedIn, but it's crucial for everything to work. Now, the very first tool is Figma or Canva. Most people think LinkedIn is about text-based posts. And while that is true, LinkedIn is a text-based platform, there is so much that you can do with media that will dramatically increase your results on LinkedIn. We've tested this over 100 plus LinkedIn accounts, and the consistent theme I'm seeing is that media is always outperforming text-based posts. Now, what I mean by media is I mean images with infographics, with videos, with carousels. For this specific task, I'm going to mainly speak about images and carousels because they're the easiest ones to create. On average, I'm seeing a media post, which is with an image or a carousel, getting around 1.5x to 2.5x more impressions on LinkedIn, consistently across accounts and across niches. So here's our exact setup that we use. So we use it in Figma. We used to use it in Canva, but we found that we didn't have the control we wanted in our design. You can 100% do it in Canva, but you'll just have to expect that you're going to lose some control elements. But if you're designers or you have a design team, this makes it really powerful. So we first have our style guides, our colors, we have some elements that we have on our website, some buttons, some arrows, and some noise that we use. Now, as a result of the style guide, we're able to create text infographics. So text infographics look a bit like this. We designed them because we want to effectively have a screenshot of something and have a visual or big leading hook in the post, but we also want it to take up more real estate in the feed. For example, we could just have just done a screenshot of just this, but by creating a bigger image around it, we take up more real estate, which captures more impressions. So these are a bit of how our infographics look. So in these ones, we have some text-based ones, some image-based ones, and we even have a couple this versus that style. So this is when you have on the left-hand side an A and the right-hand side a B. And these work really, really well. The second type we use are cheat sheets. So cheat sheets, we design them again in Figma, and they're designed to convey a very amount of dense information. And that generally increases dwell time on our posts. We also do lifestyle shots. This is where we take a lifestyle image and we generally add a screenshot of something that we sell, like the outcome, revenue, calls booked, etc. So these are a few of them that we do. And we have a whole bank of lifestyle images that we use for our clients and for ourselves, or on Paolo's profile, and then we can create carousels as well. So the cool thing is once you do one single design in Figma, you have this template that can basically be used for everything. So this is one of our templates over here, and this is another one over here. We create these carousels in a template basis, and then we push it out to a design team, and then they can push this out across client accounts, or they can teach people how to use them as well. The second tool we use is for content intelligence, and it's ChatGPT. Now, I believe most people use ChatGPT in the wrong way. They use it to auto-generate posts, and in my eyes, that's content suicide. I found that our copywriters that are trained, and that even, experts and thought leaders that write their own post are writing better posts than ChatGPT, and therefore they should be using it as an assist tool, not an auto generation tool. Now, if you're trying to create content or you want someone to create content for you, the best ways that you can use ChatGPT is to provide your sales calls transcripts or your interview transcripts. Now, when you give these transcripts over, you can ask ChatGPT to do two things. One, give me a summary or a detailed summary of exactly what happened in that call. It saves whoever is writing a post off the back of that, whether it's you or someone else that you outsource to, a lot of time in understanding what the call is about. The second thing you can use it for, especially on a sales call, is to say, hey, what are the prospect's main pain points, and give me exact quotes. Now, what you're able to do is then take the exact language your prospect uses and then push it into LinkedIn posts. And that's incredibly powerful. Another way that we use ChatGPT is for content ideation and variation. So we can use it to come up with content ideas, and we can prompt to ask for certain pain points and certain angles based on the transcripts we provided. But a really fun thing that we do is we ask it to create better hooks for us. So I'm going to show that to you now. So we have a specific specific GPT that we've trained to help us create better hooks in a very specific scenario called a contrast hook. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail what a contrast hook is, but I'm going to show you an example of how we use it. So I basically give it a hook that I've created or I've used. For example, this one is 5 secret LinkedIn algo features from analyzing 40 plus top accounts. I give it an enter, and what the GPT does, it then analyzes the hook for me, give me a pretty bad score, which is okay. It tells me what's wrong with it, what's good with it, and it then gives me new variations. Now, the awesome thing about these new variations is it allows me to quickly ideate new hooks without thinking too much and spending too much time. So for example, the LinkedIn algo is simpler than you think. Here are 5 secrets. 40 plus top LinkedIn accounts crack these 5 algo secrets. You're not using them yet. 5 LinkedIn features hiding in plain sight used by the top 1% of accounts. I'm like, cool. These are good, but make them shorter. And then we're able to keep working with the ChatGPT hook generator and come up with new ideas that are fresh and that I can use to repurpose a post or make a post even better than it was before. Now, the third tool we use is for market research, and it actually is an interesting one because most people always ask us, how do we know what content is working on LinkedIn right now? How are we always on top of the algorithm? How are we always getting our clients to get more impressions, more shares, more likes, more comments, more leads faster than the rest of the market? And here's the truth, we actually built our own tool, and it's called FeedEngine, which I'm going to show you now. So FeedEngine on the right hand side comes up on the side of your LinkedIn. It basically allows you to look at any profile's posts. So we can, for example, look at over all time, the top performing posts of Paolo, where we can see what's going on. So if we wanted to copy another creator or work out what's working in that niche, we go to their profile, we scan the whole profile, and we're able to analyze the top performing posts. Now, this is really cool, but what we did is we took it to another level and added a boards feature. Now, what that means is we go around and we can go on LinkedIn and we can save posts in the feed. So for example, say I'm scrolling around here and I like this post about growth SEO consultant. I can then click save, and I can save it down into a board of my choice. I don't know, let's just save it into test, for example. Now, once I save this post into a board, I can then go back to this board as a collection of all my favorite posts that I've seen on the feed. And I can give it to my ghostwriter, I can give it to my team, and they can use that as their main engine for coming up with new content ideas that are already proven to work on LinkedIn. So for example, I have a board of the top lead magnets that I saw around a month ago, and I saved them all down into a board and I sent them to my team, and they were able to duplicate and re-emulate and make some better than the rest of the competition on the market. I also have a board on hiring posts from Tom Hunt mainly, and these are posts that do really well to attract candidates. So if you're looking to create posts that are consistently performing, you should be looking at what's already working, saving them down, and using that board as your reference point. But hey, wait, views mean nothing if you're not getting leads, and this is where our next tool comes in. If you're trying to generate leads on LinkedIn, there are a couple of daily activities you need to do. You need to look who's liking on your posts, commenting on your posts, and viewing your profile, and then you need to DM them. Now, we needed to do this at scale across 20 plus LinkedIn accounts, 30 plus LinkedIn accounts every single month, and we also wanted our clients to do it really efficiently, so we created a SaaS tool. The SaaS tool is continually scraping all the likers and commenters of your posts on your LinkedIn profile, and sometimes your competitor posts, and scraping who's viewing your profile and sending them into a Slack channel for you. So the fourth tool is used to help us identify leads. Now, before I mention this tool, I do want to say you can do this manually yourself, and we used to do it manually ourselves. We would manually look at the likers and the commenters of our posts and the profile viewers, open all those profiles into new tabs, check who's qualified, and then DM those qualified people. We found that it was taking a bit too long and that it was a process that could be automated, so we created a SaaS tool that does two things. It firstly goes through and scrapes your likers, your commenters, your profile viewers, website visitors in some cases, and even your competitors' posts, passes it through AI and recognizes who's the qualified leads in that group. It then takes those qualified leads and then chucks them into a Slack channel for you. So when we use this for our clients, we're able to quickly identify, hey, these posts generated these sort of warm leads, so that we know that there's a correlation between the two, even though they haven't yet booked in a call. And this is what it looks like over here. You basically have a Slack channel that's firing off constantly with new leads coming in. Now, this is really beneficial for us because it saves us so much time in trying to identify the qualified leads in a profile, especially when there are lots of likes, lots of comments, lots of impressions on the account. All our clients get this as part of their engagement with us for free. If you want to access this tool yourself, just drop me a DM on LinkedIn. We're currently in beta and it's currently costing $250 per month to use. Now, for the most crucial part, how do we change and turn these leads into booked calls? Now, after testing dozens of LinkedIn tools, I mean literally every single one, and trying not to get banned by them or trying to deal with their shitty UI and UX, we found the best one for us, and that was HeyReach. HeyReach is a LinkedIn automation tool that handles your outbound and also helps you manage your inbox. And unlike other tools that spam everyone, this one keeps your account really safe. So here's what it can do that's really powerful. One, it can let you rotate your inboxes. So if you have multiple LinkedIn accounts for whatever reason and you want to hit a target list, it will rotate through those inboxes. Two, you don't need to use any external scrapers. Like you can go to LinkedIn Sales Nav, create a search, copy that URL into HeyReach, and then just send connection requests automatically. And three, it has this awesome inbox feature. And the inbox feature essentially allows you to tag conversations throughout the flow, message people individually, and manage it all from a single interface, which is much easier than using the LinkedIn DM features. Here's why we use it. So firstly, it lets us really quickly get lots of leads into HeyReach without having to use external scraping tools. So it's got a bunch of ways that you can add in leads, and the easiest one that we use is Sales Navigator leads. So we click on this button over here, we click continue, and I can literally copy and paste a Sales Navigator URL, for example, this one over here, and it will scrape that URL with that whole Sales Navigator search in one click. The second reason I use it is because it has inbox rotation. So if for whatever reason you have a team and they have multiple accounts, you can rotate the inboxes to send leads to a single lead list, which means you can double, triple, quadruple your connection volume literally in a couple clicks. And it also has an awesome inbox feature. So I can look at Paolo's inbox over here, and I have to blur out all the names and stuff, but I can open conversations, and I can tag conversations with whether the client's handling it, there's been a call book, there's a conversation started, it should be messaged, etc. It's really easy to manage conversations inside HeyReach. And by managing conversations inside this HeyReach inbox, you're able to tag the conversations, which means you're not missing any leads, and you're continuing to follow up with leads, even if they're not qualified to buy right now, or if they're just taking a couple days to book in a call with you. Finally, FeedEngine is available for you to use for free. We're not going to monetize it. We're not going to make you charge to use it. So it's 100% free. You can access that in a link down below as well. Sorry, there's no clean landing page on it. It's just something we use in-house and we just maintain as well. So there you have it, our complete tech stack for booking in 15 to 30 calls per month on LinkedIn. Could you do this manually? Absolutely. I did it manually. I did it with Canva. I used to run around clicking buttons on LinkedIn. I used to scrape things. I used to copy and paste. Like, it was a very manual process. But if you want to save hundreds of hours and get access to our entire system, all our outreach templates, all our DM templates, content posts, hooks, automation flows, then click the description in below and access our course for $97. I unequivocally guarantee you will book 5 calls in the next 30 days or your money back. And if for whatever reason you're not ready to invest yet, that's completely okay. But you can watch this video on how we help small accounts blow up on LinkedIn and generate a huge number of inbound booked calls.